Hey, my name is Jean Jennings. I've been a member here ever since before this chapel was built, when we had the little trailers out here. And you know, I've watched this church grow into what it is today, but I'm so proud to say that I'm a member of the family here at Real Life Church. I was born in 1950. I was the first of 7 kids. I was not raised in a Christian home. Abuse, rejection, abandonment, poverty, and a time when my brothers and sisters were taken and put into an orphanage for adoption all plagued my life before the age of 13. Tragedy really hit our home at that time. I never knew what I was going to do, but you know, I had a godly grandmother, and she tried to tell us about Christ. And I can tell you the exact spot I was standing, right beside my godly grandmother at Stony Point Baptist Church in June of 1963, when I realized that without Christ I had no hope. And I gave my life to Christ. I was so happy that day. But the old familiar hymn was being sung, just as I am, without one plea, but that thy blood was shed for me, and that thou bidst me to come to thee. Oh Lamb of God, I come, I come. That day was a wonderful day for me. But you know, I was a teenager and I was under the pressure now. Everything's gonna be perfect. Life's gonna be wonderful. Yeah, right. But you know, God made a way. Mama got to keep all of her children. And that's a whole different story. We won't go into that. But you know, life was really, really tough. And I tried to live for Christ, but I was doing it my way. I thought if I was at church every time the doors opened and I volunteered for any job where there was a need, then God would love me and he would bless me. But you know, I didn't know anything about unconditional love at that time. I married at 18 years of age just to get away from home. 3 months into the marriage, I realized I'd made a big mistake, because it was a very abusive marriage. And I was in it for 11 years. The good things that came out of that marriage was 2 beautiful little boys. My oldest son went home to be with the Lord when he was 6.5 years old. My second son was 2 years old at that time. The abuse continued. 2 years later, I said, God, I can't do it. And I left. But you know, I married again and a 1.5 years later. And I had a little baby girl. So 2 children, 2 different marriages, still trying to do life on my own way. I was trying to please God, and I was trying to please everyone else. Life has dealt me a lot of circumstances that I thought I can control. But realizing later, the only thing I can control in life is my attitude. Real Life Church has helped me in so many ways, through the sermons, the studies, the programs, the friends, the small groups. They've all helped me to know that life is really all about Jesus and not about me. Clint preached on relationship with difficult people on Sunday. Wow. My life has been and is still filled with difficult people. One thing he said really got my attention. The one person we want God to remove from our life is the one person that we need the most. Man, that is really true. I can remember a time in my life when I asked God, why are you punishing me with this person? Why do I have to live like this, God? And God informed me so clear that that person allowed me to learn more about my shortcomings and the things that I needed to learn about me in life, that if that person had not been there, I probably would never have learned them, or at least it'd been a lot longer time. So as I look back, I can clearly see that difficult people in my life keep me on my knees before God. And you know what? They're not difficult when I start looking at them as a gift from God. That God gave me this gift of these people draw me closer to Him. I cannot let a day go by that I don't need to call upon His grace and His mercy. I don't have it down pat, and I mess up a whole lot. But I'm working toward that day when God will say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Welcome home.
Amen.